Day 213 of throwing myself in ice cold water every single day. I thought I'd do something a little different today. I'm going to do a reading from the book. A bunch of you probably heard chapter 1 of ColdFeat, or the memoir part of chapter 1, but I really like this second opening. It's 2 pages, super quick. Chapter 2, Denial, the art of ignoring an elephant in the room. And I just thought I'd read it real quick. So, introduction, the memoir part. What's the joke about denial? Something about it not being a river, right? Well, mine was a very big river, and it was flowing through every day of my life. That being said, for a very long time, I was denying even having denial. It's funny, but humans have this incredible capability to ignore or forget almost anything. When I first thought about writing this chapter, I immediately knew what I was going to write about, but only remembered it because I forced myself to. In 2012, I moved to Brooklyn, New York. It's odd. In 2003, I moved thousands of miles from home to Mesa, Arizona, but the gravity of moving to New York, just 200 miles north of where I live, seemed much further. In Pennsylvania, I'd been a college recruiter for a few years and an adjunct professor for a year or two. I was doing well for myself with a house and a big, beautiful red Ford F-150 that sounded like a beast every time I started her up. Yes, she was a girl, and I miss her. Moving to New York, I sold everything I owned, my house, even my records. I still think about a few rares that I included in a bulk sale. This Japanese print of a Johnny Cash album particularly stands out. Anyway, the story's really about a particular commute in New York. On the train, a homeless man was rubbing himself on the other side of the aisle and kept making eye contact with me. After moving to another train, 2 men got in a fist fight. After leaving the train and walking toward my office, an old man was completely naked on Park Ave, looking into the trash. And yet another man was dressed up in a pink cowboy outfit and skirt and completely painted in makeup. By the time I had got my coffee and got into the office, the visuals that I'd seen that morning disappeared, and I started writing ads. New York had the kind of insanity to it often. You'd see the most heartbreaking, beautiful, sad, destructive, whatever things, and then you'd go about your day. This also reminds me to tell everyone that doesn't live in New York that they're nice people. They're just busy, and your questions are most likely slowing them down to get somewhere important or more comfortable. Anyway, the story above brings me to my midlife crisis and how easily we forget it, if not completely ignore things right in front of our faces. Every day, I'd see myself getting tired, walking with Jameson. I'd see my reflection in windows and tell myself with a straight face that it was the curvature of the glass that made me look like that. That's not you being overweight, Jason. It's the mirror reflecting strangely. Do you understand how powerful your brain has to be to not only make this kind of shit up, but believe it? The next paragraph might be the most important in the book. Pay attention, write it down, highlight it, whatever you need to do. We allow ourselves to be whatever we want, and that goes both ways. We allow ourselves to tell these lies and believe them, or we allow ourselves to fix the things that cause us to have to lie to ourselves, which is much harder. You can argue with me about this until you're blue in the face, but unfortunately, this is a book, and I can't hear you. So, chapter 2, ColdFeat. There was a lot of denial going on, and probably still going on, but I'm working on it. Let's get in some cold water.
You remind me of the times when I knew who I was, but still the second hand will catch us like it always does. We'll make the same mistakes. I'll take the fall for you. I hope you need this now.
Upgraded my burger to a steak today, so I gotta go. Goodbye.